On the road to the most difficult rebuild in NHL 26, I have come face to face with the New York Islanders, who won the 2025 draft lottery with a 3.5% chance, snagging the first overall pick and Matthew Schaefer, who this season has become the youngest defenseman to ever score a point in the NHL, but that's not enough. I have to do a lot more with this team if I want to start competing for a Stanley Cup. And if you like this rebuild, consider subscribing, or if you've seen my videos before and you want to see more, just check if you're subscribed. Before we hop into it, I am using the Vasi Tactics Tuggy V 1.5 rosters for this for a few reasons, but for the most part, it's just to get the college players who EA doesn't have the rights to in the video game. But enough yapping, let's diagnose this team, starting with the highlights. Matthew Barzal, I really like him. He's on for 6 years at 9.1 million. He's 28 years old. At the end of this deal, he'll be 34, so definitely going to see some regression out of him, but I think we can ride this deal out and have him as a contributor this whole rebuild. If not, we can always trade him. It's not a complete no-move clause. We'll be just fine with him. As far as the old guard goes, that's... By the way, it's crazy to call Barzal the old guard. He's 28. That's wild. But as far as the old guard goes, he might be the only one who I'm really looking to keep. A few contracts I really don't want anything to do with. Number one, Romanov. He's got 8 years at $6.2 million. At 25 years old, he could still progress a little bit, but it's not very likely. And this is the last year we can trade him. And then there's a 4-year-long no trade clause, meaning we're just gonna have to stick it out, pay him that money. I don't think it's worth it. Next up is Adam Pelech, who's on the squad for 4 years at almost $6 million. It's not a terrible contract. It's not great. It's not ideal, but there's no reason to be paying him this money for the state that this team is in. If we were about to compete for a cup, sure, this is a good depth signing if we have that kind of money available, but we're not about to compete for a cup. We're pretty buns. And the last player I really want off of is Pierre Engvall. 79 overall, should not touch the lineup and should not be getting paid $3 million for 5 years. The biggest question mark on this squad is in between the pipes. We have an amazing Tendy in Sorokin. He's currently getting paid 8.2 for 7. I can't move him at all for the next 3 years. He's got a no move clause. After that, I'll diagnose where this team is. He'll be 33 at that point. He might see some regression, but it might be more useful just to keep him, pay him that money, and ride with it if we can't find a replacement before then. But enough of the negativity, enough of the down beats on this lineup. Let's look at something positive, because I don't know if this is in the normal rosters, but because we're using the new rosters, I know for sure we've got elite high potential on Matthew Schaefer. It's the first year of his rookie deal. He's 18 years old, 80 overall. Right below him, we've got Shabonarov. But if we go down the lineup a little bit, we've also got not Heineman. I mean, he could be good. He's only 23, 80 overall. But the guy I'm really thinking of is in the system. Cole Iserman, top 6 high, 74 overall, and Victor Eklund. Both of these guys can turn into absolute studs. So for right now, we do have a good amount of young talent to turn this team into a rebuild and really push ourselves. But the biggest issue is that all of our money is taken up. We're paying a lot of guys just to be a mid team, to not get as good of a draft pick, which is why I'm gonna just start shipping people out. And one comment I got about a New York Islanders rebuild, an idea that I really like, is trading for James Hagens. Bringing the Long Island native to the New York Islanders, I think would be very poetic and kind of neat. I've had him in a few rebuilds. He kind of takes his time to get up there, but I've never been super disappointed with him. It's not going to be a super easy deal to make, and right now Boston is not a team we can just dump cap off onto. So we're going to have to get a little creative. Here's what I'm looking at. We've got Jean-Gabriel Pengu, 83 overall, on 1 year left for $5 million. I'm retaining half of it and throwing in the first round pick we've got from Colorado. Straight up for Hagens, they're over the cap. The league is saying it's okay. It's not enough. Hopefully I can just throw in a couple of picks and get it to be enough. I don't really want to give up a ton. That does get it done. Next, I'm hopping off the Romanov contract for a bunch of young talent out of Minnesota, but we do need a little bit more. I've got another player from our team in there just to make the players work. I feel like a third-round pick is way too much. I probably should have put in less, but I think we'll be fine. The last thing I want to do is get off of Engvall, and I'm gonna look for dumbass here from Columbus. It's not gonna go 1-for-1 again. This time, I'm not putting in a third-round pick. That was a mistake. My 7th this year? Yeah, whatever. I guess I'll just have 1 pick this year. Still not enough, though. A little bit off. My 7th of next year as well. That gets it done. Those are all the moves I want to do before the season starts. I might trade Pelech at the deadline. I'll see how things look, but let's get into the lines. Starting on offense, I've got Heineman next to Barzal, next to Shabonarov, and honestly, it's not optimal, but we're not looking to win right now. These guys are kind of approaching their mid-20s. That's about the time when they stop developing. I'd like to get them a couple of minutes next to Barzal, see what that does for the development, if that could help them out, squeeze a little bit of juice out of them. Otherwise, there's not much else. Bo Horvat, I mean, we're not a playoff team. I don't think we're like worst in the league type of bad. I don't think we're going to be down there with Chicago. But our future is not really with the guys that we have on the ice. On forward right now, no Hagens, no Victor Eklund. But on defense, things are basically, you know, kind of the same. I mean, all around, we've got nobody. And then you look at Matthew Schaefer, our shining light, our hope in the darkest night. I've got him on that first line, and really none of the chemistry was very good with him. Right now, I've got Scott Mayfield up there. We're going to have to find a right defenseman to put next to him. But for right now, I like how that looks. In between the pipes, obviously, we have Sorokin. Nothing left to do now but let the season ride and see what happens. We're close to the trade deadline now, and PU, this team fucking stinks. 25, 28, and 5. Honestly, we went on a streak. We had a couple of wins before this little break here. But I'm not mad that we're bad because we do have our first round pick. The higher we can get that, the better player we can get, the sooner we can be on the path to winning serious hockey games. I'm going to enter the trade deadline and see if anyone wants Adam Pelech. Anaheim Ducks are willing to give me 2 second-rounders. I don't like that. Honestly, if I could pick up a defenseman, that would be kind of sick. If I could some way scam a first-round pick out of somebody, that'd be pretty sick. I could spin back to the Ducks and see if they're willing to give up one of their players. They've got a lot here. Beckett Seneca could be a great pickup, but would he go 1-for-1? I'm not really looking to trade anything else. I'm trying to find something that can go 1-for-1. That goes? Oh my God. I'm done with that deadline. That was beautiful. That was everything I could have ever asked for, and then some. Oh, for some reason, we're finishing out the season strong. We win 3. Okay, we just got smoked. Okay. Oh, if we lost all those games, we would have had a lot better of a pick. But now we're going to be probably like 10 or more. Although, technically, the Islanders went from 10-1 in 2025. So maybe that's just good for them. At least we didn't make the playoffs. We're still going to get a lottery pick. How did we do in the season? Barzal led the way with 72 points, followed by Horvat, Palmieri. Where is the kid at? The young gun. Senecki had 32. Matthew Schaefer had 25. I would have liked a bit more out of him. I think he'll score way more than that in real life. He already has 5 points and 4 or 5. He's at like, is he at a point per game right now? Probably not taking home the Calder with that. And he didn't even progress any, but I'll take what I can get. Sometimes it takes longer with defensemen. On the season, we went 38, 37, and 7. Somehow we were above 500. But that doesn't matter. We got to head to the draft and get ready to take our one and only pick, our first round pick. Let's see what we get in the lottery. We go from 11 to 11. The 11th overall pick is not the pick I wanted, but it's the pick we get. Who is going to be available for us at pick number 11? Daxon Rudolph, a right-handed defenseman, offensive defenseman. They do have Schaefer at a 2-way D-man, so he could pick up the load, and we could just go extremely offensive if he could develop in time right next to Schaefer. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? The team wants me to take Dmitry Medvedev, and I'm going to go for Daxon Rudolph. Ultra offensive on the first line, top 4 high, 72 overall. Oh, he's a 2-way defenseman. Can you put 2 ways on the first line? I guess. That is our only pick in the 2026 NHL entry draft. I'm going to finish up contract re-signings, free agency, all that stuff, and I'll see you at the beginning of next season with some brand new lines and a brand new announcement. Here's the new lines I'm working. I'm expanding on my young talent with a more veteran, established presence. Now we've got Barzell with Hagens and Senjuqc, 2 new guys make the lineup this season. On line 2, we've got Shabonarov, who did develop a little bit, and Heineman, who went up, I think, 1 overall next to Bo Horvat on the second line. And then down in the bottom 6, it's pretty similar. A couple of young guys moving up through there. On defense, Matthew Schaefer only went up 2 overalls. I'd like to see more out of him. Now I've got him next to Ryan Pulock, a really good defensive defenseman. Hopefully he can blossom a little bit more this season. I did pick up Luke Shen just because we needed a defenseman. In between the pipes, basically the same. We're seeing a little bit of regression from Sorokin. That's okay. That's expected. The big announcement is that Anders Lee did not return to the New York Islanders. We don't have a captain, but I'm going to give Matthew Schaefer a letter. He didn't show out in his first season, but he has heart, and he is the future of this franchise. I'm putting an A on his jersey. Hopefully that means something to him. Brings him the cause to fight for, something to uphold, a standard to strive for in the National Hockey League. I'm not looking to make any moves this season. We're just going to ride it through. Maybe I'll hop into the trade deadline, see what's up, see if I want to make a trade, but most likely, we're just hanging it on. We have more picks this season. We honestly should be a worse team this season. Pick up a better player in the draft and just continue trusting the process. Pretty happy with the way this season's going so far. I think I'm just gonna skim by the trade deadline, just play this season out, see where we are in the draft, see how my boys performed. Now that's what you call a good old-fashioned tank. 31, 46, and 5. Before we even look at the players, I'm missing Matthew Barzell. I don't know where he is. Let's just see where we size up against the entire league. We're the 4th worst team, honestly. We could have been worse. Somehow Boston only wins 25 games. Do they not have Pasternak anymore? Then the Sabres, that's nothing new. You expect to see them there. And then St. Louis. We've got some pretty good odds at pick number 1, but as long as I don't drop in the draft, I'll be happy. That's all I ask for, is I stay at pick 4 or above. Maybe pick 5. I won't be mad at a pick 5. But please, dear God, do not send me down to low picks. Give me a top tier pick, please. LA and Vancouver leapfrog us. We're not even at 5. We're down to 6. God damn it. The 2 teams that were right behind us take pick number 1 and pick number 2. That's bullshit. Give me my damn pick, man. Wait, I did not look at our player points. I just skipped all that. Shabonarov led the way with 58 points. I think he was playing in the second line, right? 20 goals, 38 assists. Honestly, I'd like to see Barzell out here somewhere, but that's a pretty good performance from our boy. Then Holmstrom, who I think was on the 3rd line. How many minutes did he play? 14 minutes a game, 55 points. That's actually pretty... Wait, why did Barzell... What happened to him? He had 46 points. Was it just the line that sucked nuts? Where's... Holy sh... Callum Ritchie. I didn't even know his name all the way through. 46 points in 82. He was on the he was the 4th line center. 10 minutes a night. He scored the same amount of points as Barzell. Had more goals, but half the ice time. Senjuqc was on that first line. He put in 20. Okay, the first line was tough. Hagens only had 28 points. Yikes. What about Schaefer? He was last. He was last on the entire team. And 82 games, he put up 12 points. Into the draft, let's see who we've got at pick number 6. Hopefully we still got an elite medium up. Oh, we do. We have 2. Bouchard. Aiden Bouchard. I feel like I had this exact same pick in my last rebuild, and I took Jacobson. Do I take Aiden? Honestly, don't like either of these picks because we already have Hagens as a young playmaker, and we already have Matthew Schaefer as a young left defenseman, 2-way defender. I guess he can just come up and play on the second line. Bouchard, see what he's got in him, see what he does. 78 overall. It's a pretty good pick. Second round pick, 36th overall, and there's a little bit of hype on, let me see if I can say this right, Koyan Eshkovaken. Eshkowakogan. There's a little bit of hype on Koyan Eshikawa-Kogan. Normally, I wouldn't buy the hype. We've got 2 bars saying he's elite medium, but if you notice in the top right, you've got 2 eyes staring right back at you. You look at any other player, bam, blank. McCamey, blank. Eshikawa-Kogan, that's a face staring right back at me. That means he's actually pretty good because EA bothered to put his picture in the game. So we make this pick. Okay, it wasn't a bad pick. It was just all right. All that yapping for nothing. At least I know how to say is Eshikawa-Kogan. Don't know if we're gonna pick anything up special in the rest of the draft. Mike Knights could be elite low though. He is. Wow. Just as I say that, we get an absolute steal. Elite low. 59 overall. It's low, but not for... What was this, the 5th round? That's a good damn pick. It's a pretty good draft. I'm pretty happy with that one. See how Bouchard develops and Eshikawa-Kogan. Time for another free agency and re-signing. I will see all of you with brand new lines at the start of the 3rd season of the New York Islanders rebuild, the hardest rebuild to ever be done. Before we do the lines, we do have one player who is available for an extension that I really want to re-sign. He's the core of this rebuild. Matthew Schaefer, who to this point has been very, very disappointing, and I will say 100%, kill me if I'm wrong. In real life, he's going to be a lot better than this a lot sooner on. 2 honestly piss poor seasons. The 2nd season is just really tough to look at. At least he took more shots, but he's available to re-sign. And I'm going to re-sign him, and I'm going to try and lock down a huge contract right now, hopefully for the rest of this video, because he has been playing like shit. So we should be able to get a little bit of a bargain if he develops here in the next few years. I'm thinking 5 years. If we can't win in 5, honestly, I feel like we could maybe win in 4. I'm going to go... What does it look like if I go to 8 and put a clause on it? That might be the most valuable way. I'm gonna play around with this for a second. I'm gonna try a 4-year extension at $7 million per year. Before we do anything, I'm gonna just advance a few days, see if he accepts that. Hopefully he does. He does accept, and that puts us on a timeline where, I mean, we're not locked into this right now because our money is very open, but we have the last year of his rookie deal and then 4 years of Schaefer locked in, 5 seasons to hopefully win a cup. I feel like we should be able to do it before 5 seasons would put us at what, 2032? I think we could get it done before 2030, which would be 50 years since their dynasty in the 80s. But enough of that. Let's check out the lines that we've got set up. A little bit different this season. I'm going with the complete young crew at this first line. Callum Ritchie had an absolute monster season as the 4th line center last year, putting up 46 points, tying Matthew Barzal with half of the playtime. I like that performance. As general manager, he wanted to re-sign for 2 years, $2 million. I said, take 6 years, $4.5 million. I think this will be one of the greatest contracts I've ever signed if he continues to play like he did. Hagens, I don't know. I'm keeping him on that first line. It was tough last year. It was tough for Senecki last year, but I'm going to just keep it how it is. I've got Barzal now with Holmstrom and Shabonarov. Holmstrom and Shabonarov had pretty good seasons last year. Eklund is now in the lineup. Things are looking pretty good. Obviously, we're still going to suck, but we are now a super duper young team on offense. On defense, we're still pretty old and pretty bad. We do have some young guys coming up that are really going to bring some youth and some presence into this core. I'm just, you know, it all hangs on Schaefer. I'm really hoping Schaefer's the guy. I've been avoiding trying to make a signing or a play for a #1 defenseman because we have our supposed #1 defenseman, but he's gone up 3 overalls in 3 years. I still have faith in him. We'll see how it works. In between the pipes, Sorokin is staying strong at a 90. He's 32. And with that 5-year window, he'd be 37 at the end of that. I don't know how that's going to work out for us, but for now, I'm going to trust in him. Nothing left to do this season except let it ride and let it roll. New York Islanders. Hopefully, honestly, I'm fine, you know, giving up on our high draft picks. I don't really care if we're going for the top player anymore. I feel like we have the talent and the prospects. What I want to see is development. Matthew Schaefer, trade deadline comes and goes. We do not participate. This team is perfectly mid, just below 500. And I haven't checked yet, but I hope the improvement this season over last season is because of our young guys stepping up to the challenge and actually taking a chunk out of these older guys. We need the new regime now more than ever, but I guess I'll see at the end of the season. And you'll see too. We come to a close, 37, 36, and 9. One win above 500. I think that's exactly where we started in our first season. Matthew Barzal leads the way with 61 points. The offensive output is kind of bad, but Cal Ritchie ties him again. I'm happy to see that. Bo Horvat puts up 60. Shabonarov, 55. Senjuqc, 54. Jumps from Senjuqc and Haggins. Like to see that. Where was Schaefer? Had 30 points and he was +1. We're not as focused about making great picks and getting up top in the lottery anymore. Just letting our young guys play their game, doing whatever I can as the GM in free agency to help support them to bring new talent to this team to score goals and win games. We got the 8th overall pick this year. Pretty happy with that. I like that look. Zach Shabanu is the first guy off the board. Then we've got Wilson Bumbardine. Then, holy, this guy he's not even from anywhere. He doesn't have a flag. Joey Cullen, who's a gem, so that's a great pick. But I'm looking at this 4th guy on the board, Ahmed Fayyad. 3 bars on elite high. I'm gonna swing for the fences. They're saying he's got an X factor. Oh my God. Top 6 high. I mean, if he's got an X, it's still not a terrible pick, but let's see, what could I have had? Oh, I should have taken Bombadine or who else was there? Charizard. Yeah, man, that was a bad pick. I missed out. Next pick is 40th. We got some crazy goalie prospects. Around my pick right now, Leaf Otten, supposed elite high, ranked 46. You're saying he's 2 years out, but if he is elite high, he's gonna have a lot of trade value. I'm gonna keep swinging. Starter high, damn! I feel like you just gotta keep swinging. He's only a 57, but he is elite medium, so he should have pretty good value. I like that pick. And we're picking up an elite low in round 5. 49 overall, yes, but trade value. It's all about the trade value. Another elite low, 55 overall. Wow, this is a pretty good draft. I didn't draft too good up top in the first round, but I feel like I made up for it in the later rounds. I'm gonna go through this off-season, re-signings, all that stuff, free agency, and let's prepare some new lines. I know we are finally in a place where I can say I'm proud to be a part of this franchise. New season. Before we go into the lines, we've got some news. Matthew Schaefer, after signing his new contract and playing one more season, is now a franchise medium player. 86 overall. He's due for a huge breakout season. Our 5th round pick in the 27 draft class is now 82 overall, elite low. He's going to be an absolute steal and a freak. He's rookie deal for 3 more years. That would be nice to win it within those 3 years. We've also got Shabonarov in those 3 years signed up. Things are coming to a head rather quickly here. It's time we lock in and make some serious strides. The lines are a little bit different this time around. I've got Cole Iserman, who we haven't seen very much of, but I'm putting him on the first line straight off the rip. I do believe in him, next to Callum Ritchie, who has an ability, and James Haggins, who hopefully pops off. On the second line, I'm going Beckett Senjuqc, next to Matty Barzal and Victor Eklund. I do believe in this line as well, and Eklund. Again, a bit of a younger guy we haven't seen much from, but I'm putting him up there. Shabonarov is going to be a 3rd line warrior. I think Shabonarov, Horvat, and Holmstrom is the crew I had during his 58-point season. I'm pretty sure that was the team I had them on the 2nd line, and they performed pretty well together. I'm going to see if we can spin it back a couple of seasons later. Dumbass is progressing very nicely. I haven't showed you his contract, but I locked him up for a bit a couple of seasons ago. He's 3 years left as well, so we've got 3 years here to really kick it in high gear. On defense, things are coming together a little bit. I still would like someone on the right D. That's not Ryan, although Ryan Pulick, I mean, he kind of works well next to Schaefer. Schaefer's in 86 now, franchise medium. I'm expecting huge leaps this season. And of course, Mike Knights is up here as well, along with Aaron Kaboju, who's 22. A lot of youth coming in here. We're getting better. And then in between the pipes, Sorokin is regressing a little bit. And we have a 22-year-old backup who hopefully plays pretty good. Overall, the playoffs would be nice this season, but not really expected. I think we're still one season away from the playoffs, but things should be ramping up pretty quickly. Pretty good season. All things considered, we did not make the playoffs, but that was never my goal in the first place. Kinda. I mean, it would have been nice to make the playoffs. We went 38, 36, and 8. 2 wins over 500 this time, and James Hagens, in a contract year, puts up 72 points. Him and Callum Ritchie put up 18 goals each. And I think we've got our first line. Yzerman might have just went out there and won himself the Calder. 29 goals in his rookie year ain't too bad at all. 35 points from Schaefer. He's adding points on. I'd like to see a little bit more, but he was plus 17. He's playing winning hockey. Only up to an 87. He's got to have a huge offseason coming. Overall, despite missing the playoffs, I think my prediction was spot on at the beginning of the season when I said we're 1 year out. If we don't make the playoffs next year, I'll be pretty sad, a little upset. But we've got Hagens inching towards a point per game. Barzell, unfortunately, is taking a bit of a back seat. He's kind of not playing as well anymore, but I've got faith in this crew and this team. We end up with the 9th overall pick. I don't know if I take a player here in the first round or if I trade that pick away. I think the move is to trade my pick away. After looking for a trade in the draft, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to trade in the draft. I'm going to take Oliver Tomastik. If he does have blue quick release and blue wheels, elite edges right away, and he's similar styles Patrick Kane, he's NHL ready. Actually, this is a great pick. I don't know if I'm gonna pick anything else up super great in this draft. Let me go for Ed Shawik. Moment of truth before I head to the next season. I'm actually gonna take you guys on a little journey here, and we're gonna see what does James Hagens want for a re-signing. 9.7 million after putting up 72 points as a 21-year-old, now 22. I mean, what? I feel like Elias Pettersson did damn near the same thing and got paid 11 million. So I'll take this deal. Actually, it looks like we can bring it down. I'm gonna see if I can do 8.65 for Hagens. He accepts, and we've got Bouchard coming into the system. Before we go into the lines and do anything, I am missing a 3rd or 4th line center, so I'm gonna have to do a trade real quick. Claude Giroux is still up and kicking, and he simulates amazingly, even when he's old as hell. 4th line center Claude Giroux, I like that idea. What does it take to get him though? A 6th and a 7th? 6th and 7th round pick? Not enough. I probably have to throw my 5th in there. That should be enough. It is. With that, the lines are set for another season. Not too much progress. I would like to see more, but Yzerman is staying steady at an 85. Ritchie's an 88 with a bunch of abilities. Hagens up to an 88. Really excited for his season. Matthew Barzell's been at 89 for a minute, holding it down with Eklund and Seneke on that second line. Pretty much everything the same, but now we got Claude Giroux on the 4th line. On defense, Eshkawakogan is up here. I put him next to Schaefer. I want to see how it works out. We've also got Daxon Rudolph on the 3rd line next to Knights, and I put Pullock next to Bouchard on that 2nd line. I hope things work out well here in between the pipes. Standing strong and tall, Ilya Sorokin is 34 years old, but he's still an 88. He's holding on. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go to the playoffs. I hope. That's what the coach thinks as well. He thinks we're good enough to compete for a playoff spot. A little over 40 games into the season. We are 34-13-4. I say it every franchise when I'm about to hit it, but there is such thing called the 40-20 rule coined by Coach Phil Jackson of the 6-time champion Chicago Bulls and the 5-time champion Los Angeles Lakers. If you win 40 games before you lose 20, then you are a true contender. That being said, we didn't hit that. I just lost 21 before I hit. Okay, so I mean, you get what I'm saying though. We're almost a true contender. Like going from a team that we haven't made the playoffs yet, and now we're top of our division. pretty exciting. And I'm about to hit this trade deadline like a motherfucker. We got so much assets to give away. Not give away, to trade. Barkov 1 year. I don't hate it. Cirelli 2 years. You know, for a team that has lacked that center depth, Barkov 1 year looks kind of nice, but we did have Barkov off free agency in my last rebuild. Does that mean Jack Hughes, Barkov, and what, Braden Point, are they all going to be coming off their contracts into free agency potentially? Because that's what happened in my last rebuild. This Barkov deal is kind of tempting, but I feel like, I don't know where we're at. Is this the first year of the 3 years? Or is this the second year of the 3 years? Either way, next season, we should be an even better team. So I don't want to get a player who only has 1 year on their deal. Cirelli, I mean, he's looking at me kind of crazy right now. Those bug eyes. Cirelli could be a player we pick up, except he's clause protected. So actually, never mind. I don't really like anybody on the top end of the trade block. Let me look a little bit deeper. I just can't find the right deal. Johnston. Johnston has 8.4 on his current and a 1.7 extension, each for 1 year. That's the 2 years I need. Really like, how's he simming? 48 points, 61 games. I mean, he won a Selkie. I'm going to try and trade for Johnson. His value's not all there right now. See if I can slap a couple of prospects in here next to my first round pick this year and a third round pick next year. And this feels good. That does not feel good. They don't like it at all. What about a second round pick next year as well? Still a no. I'm going to remove a pick and put another prospect in. I'm not really meeting their trade block at all. I'm just trying to force this through. That does go. Good thing that message popped up because we can get a lot less. Yeah, wow. We can get a lot less. I don't really want to pick in the first round this year. I think we can go on a deep run. So this is what I'm going to do. 2 prospects, first round pick for Will Johnston. I might be able to penny pinch a little bit more, but we still got more prospects, more capital to get rid of in the future. For now, I like that trade, and I like the way this team looks. Second line now is Barzal, centering Yzerman and Seneke. And then everything else is pretty much the same as it's always been. Hopefully that gives us a huge boost. Helps us finish super duper strong and go on a deep playoff run. For the first time this video, the New York Islanders are in the playoffs, and we've got a shot at winning 50 games this season. I don't exactly know what the league looks like right now, but I'm pretty sure the Islanders have never... Okay, never mind. The Mammoth are on an absolute tear. I was about to say, I don't think the Islanders have ever won a President's Trophy, and they could have just won their first, but I don't think they're going to. We don't win the President's Trophy, finishing 10 points behind the Utah Mammoth, who are on a tear this season, but we are second best in the league. We avoid the curse while still staying an amazing team, and Haggins is the first player in the new regime to put over a point per game, and so did Richie. Barzal bounced back with his new linies. Johnson played like a dog, even though we picked him up mid-season. Yzerman played great. Schaefer, 63 points plus 27. That's what I like to see. Keep playing like that, keep leading this team, and you might just get a different letter on your sweater. Talking about a C. There were a little bit of struggles in the depth as far as plus minus goes, but a lot of point output here. Looks really good. Claude Giroux, 29 points. I mean, we're looking at 51, 53, 61 points from our third line guys. We used to have top line guys hitting that level of points, so it's exciting to see what these guys can get up to in the postseason. Actually, looking around the league, I haven't looked at the league much. McDavid led the league. He only scored 104. Haggins is on this page. I mean, if he had a little bit of a better season, like a couple of more pucks go his way, he could have been up there with an Art Ross or an MVP this season. In the first round of the playoffs, we've got the Montreal Canadiens. I have no clue who's on this squad. I'm guessing it's the same core of Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, even Demidov, Lane Hudson, and friends. But who knows? Honestly, it's a really good core. Usually I feel like they're the best team in the simulation in a couple of years, but they're not right now. And we do come away with a Game 1 victory and a Game 2 victory, both in the same fashion, 3-2. Then we get shut out in Game 3. It's nice to go up and win both of our home games, but a series does not start till someone loses at home. We have the chance to start this series in Montreal in game 4 with a victory, and we do take the win in overtime, and we're going to push them off and advance to the second round if we can win in game 6, which we do. Matthew Schaefer's first playoff run, and he gets a series win. And next is the New Jersey Devils, who in this simulation have won a Stanley Cup. This is a battle-tested team. Jack Hughes leading the way, the tip of the spear, and they beat us in game 1. We take game 2, but they beat us in game 3. We're down 2-1. If I'm going to simulate the next 2 games, if we lose both of them, we're out. If we're done, it's over, but I don't think we will. I believe in my team. We win game 4 and game 5. We've got New Jersey on the ropes. Can we take it home in 6 again? No, we can't. This one's going to 7. I'm going to see what happens period by period. First period, Adam Fox is on this team, and he puts him up 1-0. Second period, the game is tied up off of Bouchard, Holmstrom, and Pulick. What will happen in the third period? Nico Hischier is going to put us away and end our playoff hopes and dreams. The New York Islanders are not winning the Stanley Cup this year, but next year, I'd watch out. Honestly, I'm simming the draft. I don't think there's anything in the draft that's going to help us. We just got to make a trade or a signing in free agency to get us over the hump. Even over the hump. I mean, we were pretty close to the hump that season. We went to 7 in the second round. We're almost in the conference finals. We're 1 goal away. We just need a little bit of extra juice. I'm going to re-sign, hit free agency. I'll see you at the start of next season. Post editor's note here. I didn't really commentate it, and I forgot to say anything when I was telling you guys about the lines, but I did pick up Tage Thompson in free agency for $9.5 million for 2 years. All right, here's what we're running. Richie, Johnston, Haggins. Haggins now a 91. First line, goated. Second line, Barzell, Thompson, Yzerman. Kind of goated. Third line, Bo Horvat, Dumbass, and Holmstrom, and then Eklund, Shabonarov, and Seneca. Honestly, I really like the lineup. I really like the crew. Haggins has been balling out as of late. Hopefully, he can continue to improve and perform on defense. Schaefer's now a 91 next to Eshkawa-Kogan. Eshkawa-Kogan up there on that first line. How did he do last season? I didn't check. He had 23 points plus 23. I like that performance. I like it a lot. On the second line, Bouchard is progressing nicely next to Pulick. And on the third line, it's Rudolph and Knights. How is Sorokin in net? Is down to an 87. This is approaching the territory of a final dance, a last dance. We've got a lot of contracts coming to an end. I still think we can extend another season and be just fine. But I would love it if we won a Stanley Cup this season. I think the team is the best it's ever been. We've got almost no holes, and we've got a ton of assets to make a huge move at the deadline. Let's see what coach says for our season goal. Paul Maurice thinks we can compete for a cup. I'm going to agree, full stop. We've officially hit the trade deadline. I think we're almost identical this season as we were last season. No real improvements. I really should add a defenseman here maybe, but honestly, Robert Thomas is just looking at me some type of way. I need a center, and he's a guy who can win Selkies, I was going to say. He's a great defensive center, 86 faceoffs. Yeah, I think he can be a good center. I'm going to try and pick up Robert Thomas. I've got a little bit of prospect in here. Prospect number 1, and then we look for another guy. Let's go with Lewis. Can we just run it straight up like this? No. I'd be over the salary cap. Damn, I forgot. Money is a thing. I know who I gotta trade Bo Horvat. I'm paying Horvat $10 million. I didn't even know that. I forgot all about his contract. It's his last season. Damn. Yeah, Bo gotta go. That's a done deal. Really need a center. Do like a Marco Rossi pickup as my 4th line center. Is that kind of nuts? First round pick. Let me throw my goalie up in there that I have not touched for a million years. And then, do I need anything else other than that? Let me just try that. Doesn't go, but I can throw a prospect in there. Fayad? I feel like that's an overpay. Keep him just in case we go bust this year. I'll hand over Schubert. Still not enough. Let me just add some picks in now. Second and third rounder. That gets the deal done. I didn't touch my defense because I feel like my defense is fine. I don't know. When it comes to defense, I'm more of a vibes guy, performance guy, rather than overall rating. And I feel like the vibes are good on D. This is the final iteration before playoffs. I'm slotting Robert Thomas as my third line center. Honestly, this team just looks so juiced and so ready for them damn playoffs. Sorokin continues to regress. What are his stats looking like? A little rough, honestly. Hope that's not the reason we struggle in the postseason. I'm still going to put my trust in him, my faith in him. It's time we go out there and get it. Finishing out the season, we win the division again, but we don't win 50 games. In the first round, we had the New York Rangers, but what did we do in the regular season? Let's go check the stats. We took a step back. We're now the 5th best team in the league, 48, 28, and 6. Montreal has a little bit of a crazy comeback season. We beat them in the first round last year. This year, they are the President's Trophy winners. Hagens took a bit of a step back as well, over a point per game still, but only at 83. Kind of a tough season. Not really a tough season. We still are a pretty dominant team, but not as good as last season. Schaefer has 57. Only one thing really left to do, and that's jump in to the playoffs. The New York Rangers. Don't know who's on this team. They should be washed. This should be a free first round victory. We're going games 1, 2, and 3 back to back to back. Game 1, shutout victory. Game 2, high scoring, high octane 7-4 victory. Game 3, 7-2 victory. Game 4, clean sweep. Come on. Give me that sweep. Clean. Throughout the entire series, the closest they got to us was within 3. A dominant performance from the Islanders. We're in the hunt for that Stanley Cup. Next, we're gonna come up against the Philadelphia Flyers. Mitch Cobb, presumably, maybe Konechny. Who knows? We lose game 1 and game 2, but win game 3. Down 2-1. Game 4 is pivotal for us in Philadelphia, and we lose. Let's take this one game at a time. Game 5, we win 6-5. Can we continue the streak in game 6? Yes, we can. 4-0 shutout. It's time we go period by period for game number 7. First period up 2-0 off of Richie and Knights. Second period still up by 2, but this time Philly puts 2 in. What's going to happen in the third period? We come away with the victory. A 3-1 comeback in the second round to put us in the conference finals. What a run this has been. After going to Philadelphia, we got to now go to Boston. We're all staying up in this fucking metro area. We started in New York, then Philadelphia, now Boston. Simulate the first 3 games. See what happens. Pasta should still be on the team, but it doesn't look like he's got much in the tank. 2 victories, 1 loss through the first 3. Game 4 at Boston, we take another loss. The series is all tied up. I'm going straight to 7. I don't think it's going to take us 7 to win this series, but I'm simming to 7. We're going to 7. We could have sealed it in overtime in game 6, but instead, we're going to have to take this to game 7. Period 1, it's tied 1-1, Minton and Pulick. Period 2, we go up. Seneke and Richie. Period 3, we seal our victory. Tage Thompson getting on the board there. That's what you love to see. Back-to-back Game 7 victories to put us in the Stanley Cup Finals. In the finals, we have the Dallas Stars. The first time the Islanders are going to have a hefty road trip ahead of them. And Dallas has the home team advantage. They won 52 games this season. They are the better team by record. But how do their lineups match our lineups? The first line, I guess Mikko Rantanen is technically an 88, but I'm willing to bet he's still simming like a dog. He put up 72 and 82, so he's not that great. There's a little bit of regression going on there. I gotta say, straight up, I think we have the easy edge on offense. On defense, though, Thomas Harley and Mirjo Heiskanen. We've got the matchup with Schaefer, but they've got the head with Heiskanen. Bouchard and Heiskanen. I'm going to have to give that to Heiskanen, who's in between the pipes. Still Ottinger. but he's basically tied with Sorokin. We've got the better offense. They've got the better defense, but who can take it home? Game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. A second editor's note here, just to let you know, there was no Game 4. Game 4 never happened. I don't want to see any comments asking about a Game 4 or what happened during Game 4 because it never happened. I don't want to see, I don't want to hear, I don't want you to think about it. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, a chance. What the fuck? This is going to go to 6. There's no way. I mean, we're not in trouble here, are we? We're not in trouble here, are we? Game 6 versus Dallas, now at home, up 1-0. Up 2-1, Hagen's Potts 1. Please just hold the lead. That's all I ask. Dallas goes on the power play. They get nothing from it. 6 minutes left, 5 minutes left. I'm gonna let it go down to 3. I'm just CPU versus CPU. All right, just let it ride. Whatever happens, happens. Come on, boys. Less than a minute to go. They're pulling goalie right away. They've got full pressure. Good turnover, Schaefer. Get it up, get it out. Come on, Richie. Snipe it. Yes! Yes! For his 12th goal in the playoffs, Callum Ritchie puts in possibly the dagger. Now they're coming down with a full attack, 6 players, but they can't get it in cleanly. Good pass up to Barzal that is completely offsides. 8.5 seconds left. Barzal skates it straight across the net, and then Sorokin covers it with 0.4 seconds left. Soon as the puck drops, likely gonna be a good game and a Stanley Cup championship for the New York Islanders. It's been nearly 50 years since they won a championship, but the Stanley Cup is coming back to Long Island. Who's gonna win the Conn Smythe? The hometown hero, James Hagens, 11 goals, 19 assists, 30 points in the playoffs. What a run from him. And the first to do the honors, to lift the cup, has to be the captain. I don't even think I showed you guys who the captain is, but I had to newly mint the young gun, the first overall pick. I think he'll play better in real life than he simulated in NHL 26. Matthew Schaefer. Ooh, what a rebuild. That was a long one. I don't know if it was the most difficult. Definitely wasn't the easiest, but let me know what rebuild or video idea you want to see next. Subscribe if you enjoyed the rebuild. Like the video if you enjoyed the rebuild. Comment. No, you don't have to do all that, but if you did enjoy, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate you. I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.